Kanye West is easily one of the all-time best artists at sampling, and that's a claim I feel comfortable making solely based on his released work. When you peel back the layers that make up Kanye's entire unreleased discography, you'll find that his reliance on sampling is no different, and that him and his collaborators are constantly pulling obscure samples for songs whether they end up releasing or not. Of course, we all know just how much content total was planned for Donda and then scrapped, but what a lot of fans don't know is how many samples Kanye initially planned to use, only for him to later scrap the song they were part of. For this video, I've gone ahead and gathered every single unused or cut sample from Donda's extensive development, so without further ado, let's get right into it and take a deeper look into the foundations of some of Donda's best leaks. Starting off, we have Welcome to My Life, which was born from Kanye freestyling over a beat sometime in early 2020. The song would be worked on again, adding drums from Rico Nichols and Darius Woodley, along with additional production from Evan Mast in June and July of 2020. This one was on tons and tons of track lists and features a backing sample from the song Diminutions by Vandergraaf Generator that really helps form the song's overall floaty and spacey feeling. Genius sample pick, and this one likely came directly from Kanye, as producers Evax, Boogs, and FNZ would all contribute to the song after the first evidence of the sample being used.
Set the bar low, I moved the goalpost Sunday. Now we taking off on a Gold Coast runway. You wasn't in Japan with Tado Ando. You ain't finished Runaway in George Condo's condo. We set the whole world.
Following that is City of Lost Angels, worked on throughout 2020 and 2021, and also present on many official Donda track lists. For this one, Kanye, Dem Joints, and OG Volta sampled Atomic Dog by George Clinton for the heavily filtered Dog's lyric that is spoken at the midpoint of the song.
Judge Reynolds.
Everybody judge.
Dogs at the kennel. Sliding down with the next invention. Got the new Porsche with the Tesla engine.
Next, we've got the sample Evan Mast and Dem Joints utilized for Donda's original intro track with Blood of the Lamb. These two tapped into quite an old source with the song They Were Overcome by the Clark Sisters. Kanye would go on to have the Sunday Service Choir record their own rendition of the sample, and he himself would interpolate it and sing a brief introduction on a few versions of Blood of the Lamb.
They will overcome. Blood of the Lamb. The devil is using you, confusing you.
Then moving on to a song with a few names like With Child, Stay On 'Em, and of course Precious. This is by far my favorite sample used during Donda 2020's development, and I gotta say it's criminal that Kanye never dropped this one because the James Blake sample vocals are amazing. I think it would have also been cool if Kanye had got more direct contributions from James Blake on the song, but at the time Kanye was working on Donda 2020, him and James Blake were apparently not cool because of Kanye's political dealings at the time, so that's probably why this one ended up being scrapped.
Tell them boys, tell them stand down. And that boy saw the hell till he got it man right. Boy behave, ayy. Kobe, ayy. He the reason why they set him up, cause he ain't no slave.
Next, we're jumping ahead to May of 2021 with a sample used for a song called Thunder, produced by Dem Joints and 88 Keys. Dem ended up reworking 3 different freestyles all together to come up with a somewhat finished version of Thunder on May 12th with his own punch-in vocals for Kanye. The squad tapped into African King Ensemble by Mike Murray to serve as the main source for the instrumental melody, and this is another one of my favorites from Donda. I feel like the sample really perfectly encapsulates the mid-2021 sound that Kanye was cultivating.
So it's coming around. Let us all, he gon' lose his shit in front of a crowd. Had to run in with summer red, no, it's going down. Make it so that TMZ love it, they hold it now. Go Thunder, go Thunder, go Thunder, go Thunder. Tell me if you don't want it, be back.
Then we've got God Got Me, a song made just one day after Thunder on May 13th, 2021, which would end up donating some lyrics to the released version of Lord I Need You on Donda. Kanye initially recorded 14 full minutes of vocals over a beat produced by Boogs the Beast and OG Volta, which utilized a sample from Enlightenment by Billy Paul. I do love this sample, I just wish they would have maybe changed it up or tweaked it a little bit. I'm sure if the song had got all the way to the official Donda release, Kanye would have flipped the sample to being the same melody but like with an organ, but because the song never progressed that far, it's just the plain old sample with not a lot done to it here.
I'm no longer victim, this is the victory, this to make history, it's no longer a Mr. Sir, can we have you? The electoral college is based off slaves, hanging on something on a base.
Now let's discuss South Carolina, which is the original concept for the song titled Donda from Release Donda. It was initially titled South Carolina with a much different and more cheerful vibe meant for a much more upbeat version of Donda from late 2020 and early 2021. The beat for the song was also way different considering the album itself as a whole was in a much different space, sound, and theme-wise. One particular version of the song made in late 2020 features extra production from Che Pope, who utilized a sample from the song In the World of Fantasy by Smoke City. It seems this sample would be cut from later versions, although it's possible that the melody was interpolated for the backing progression for South Carolina. It's just tough to tell, so that could be a reach.
Deal with the shame and take the weight of the lie. Every time we talk, I just wait for the lies. Every time I get the food, I just wait for the flies. Send my prayers up, I'm just waiting on the skies. My Miss American Pie was a hero after.
Next, we've got one of my personal favorite freestyles that Kanye recorded in May of 2021 with Petals, which was done over a beat produced by Boogs that samples Petals by BBO. Honestly, when we first heard about this, before we had even got a snippet, let alone the full leak, I really was sad that Kanye left this one on the Donda cutting room floor, and I still am because this sample is amazing, and I feel like Kanye could have done so much more with it had he continued to work on the song.
Silent, teary-eyed, you knew it'd kill you. Don't wear a tie that'll show.
Got a fear of being the last, She wanna ride it like a hybrid. She wanna ride it like a hybrid. Mental athlete, life attract me. They should not text me back me. Too polarizing to be posted, too goated to get ghosted.
Following Petals, we move actually backwards in time with the sample that Ronnie J, Boogs, FNZ, and Bongo By The Way utilized for the main Alien beat melody. This sample was literally just found within the last few months, which is wild because we've known about Alien for years, but this team of producers took the beginning flute pattern from Flying Carpet Ride by Second Direction and chopped and slowed it down to get the iconic Alien flute melody that we all know and love.
I needed some time off. I don't believe in time. I just believe in signs. Hope you believe in mine. Okay, let's leave the night.
alien, clientele, autopilot whip, fly itself, space prison, no bail.
Moving on to Everything, a song worked on by Kanye and Evax in the summer of 2020 for a release on Donda. This one was present on track lists, and Kanye even had artists like Casey, Jazzy, and Victory Boyd record for this, but he never ended up finishing his vocals. The song is built around a sample from What a Friend by the St. Luke COGIC Youth Choir that Kanye would then go on to have the Sunday Service Choir do their own rendition of.
To the dawn, to the halo. Put a face to the thoughts in the halo. Fake takes on the phone.
Then we've got Awakening, a pretty raw and unfinished song that was developed late in 2019 for a much different version of Donda. The beat was made by Boogs the Beast with a sample from Johnny Boxer by Udo Lindenberg, and I absolutely love the sound that Boogs cultivated here. It sucks that Kanye never ended up finishing his vocals, but it's clear that he really liked the ideas being created with Awakening, as the song popped up on multiple early track lists dating to November 2019 and July 2020.
Feel the spirit, feel the room, love on the Father.
After that is the sample Boogs used to craft the overall sound of the song Eternal Life, utilizing a sample from Kill Bill by Wallace Lane. Boogs was no stranger to tapping into Wallace Lane's sample loops, with him using the Arena sample as the base for the Future Sounds beat, and I gotta say, I do like how Eternal Life sounds, and I think it would have been fire on Donda.
Immortal. Demons can always try, but I walk with the angels. The devil weak and he corny, and he ain't got nothing for me, The devil weak.
Following Eternal Life, we can discuss one of my personal favorite songs to have been worked on during the Donda development period with In God's Country. Man, this song just had so much potential. It's a real shame that it never ended up getting released, and part of that potential is due to its amazing beat. The instrumental is structured around a sample of Something to Talk About by James Davis and is present on the earliest audio we have of In God's Country, dated to June 1st, 2020, when it just had Casey reference vocals on it.
Remind me that don't define me. God, I will always follow your lead. You never steer me wrong.
Then we've got Tell the Vision, and I know this song did officially release, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard the sample used for the main beat of Call Me Bad by Luke November, but Tell the Vision actually had an entirely other sample utilized for an early version of the song that would be scrapped. This original version is just solo mumble Kanye with way different production from Evax and Boogs when compared to later versions dated to July 5th, 2020, and in this iteration of the song, you can clearly hear a new sample from Distance Equals Rate Times Time by the Pixies that would go on to be cut from Tell the Vision for its official releases.
I had me a vision. There wasn't any television. From looking into the I had me a vision.
Polo, Timo, Tima, Pipi, Popo, Tico.
There wasn't any television.
Next is By Your Side, a Donda throwaway with Ty Dolla $ign backing vocals, produced by Major 7, which samples Always Be My Baby by Mariah Carey, made in August of 2020. This might be one of the most wasted potential type samples with Donda in my opinion, because the beat and sample combination together is actually otherworldly. Like, this sample and beat could have cured world hunger, I bet, if Kanye had included it on the final Donda release. on, we have Crash Landing, made also in August of 2020, like By Your Side, and this one was the original ending to the Donda visual album. Crash Landing features a full verse from Sheck West, backing vocals from Casey, and pretty unfinished lines from Kanye, all over a Mike Dean produced beat, and Mike sampled Real Man by Todd Rundgren for the intro portion of Crash Landing.
I think we're gonna need backup. Entering the atmosphere. Make way for a crash landing. Make way for a crash landing. Make way for a crash landing.
Following Crash Landing, we are on This Is God's Test, another standout in my opinion that truly deserved a full release. Dem Joints, Boogs, and FNZ all came together to craft the beat for God's Test, building it around a sample of He Will Make a Way by the Polyphonic Music Library. This just goes to show that sometimes you don't have to pull a sample from an obscure song from 40 years ago, sometimes a chill gospel vocal loop will do just fine.
For the my vine, son, I'm for the my vine. Pretty, but didn't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do? Won't he fool? Not the center, going foolish, going stupid, going through the on the runner, all the music, all the mana, going through it. Let me get it right here in Atlanta. Going song with a banner.
After that is Spaghetti. This is kind of a weird song that was worked on by Kanye, Casey, and Consequence in late 2020 that would eventually be scrapped and given to Consequence, who has claimed that he's going to release the song on his next album. Newsflash, he's been claiming this for like months or years now, and his next album is like nowhere to be seen, so the jury is still out on whether or not Spaghetti will remain unreleased. This one is cool because the beat was actually produced by Consequence, and he utilized a sample from Sapagat Kami Ai Tau Lamang by Celeste Legapsi as a backing for the song.
Just take me higher. There's too much temptation and desire.
Next, we've got Find Out, a song Kanye made in May 30th, 2021, with production from Boogs, Dem Joints, and OG Volta. The trio of producers samples High Up by Half Alive, and this one is just oozing with potential. Had Kanye finished up his vocals and maybe got a feature artist on the song, I think this one could have actually blown up if it was released.
When you look at me and lift it higher, higher than my raincoat, sitting on the mountain, now I'm higher. Never wanna come down.
I wouldn't change one thing about how I live. Everybody dies, but not everybody really live. And when you're giving all you can give, it's all.
To end off this list of unused and scrapped Donda samples, we're gonna go through 5 freestyles Kanye recorded on May 26, 2021 over digital Nas beats that would all end up on the chopping block for Donda. First is Grammy, whose beat samples the main theme of the movie Fear is the Key, composed by Roy Budd. Next is Leave, which samples Souvlaki Space Station by Slowdive. Then Let Me Know, which samples Space Song by Beach House. Urgent Screenshot, that samples Ocean of Thoughts and Dreams by The Dramatics. And finally, What a Dream, which samples Calm Oceans by Mind Slums.
I got 10, 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 I've been in, I got 10, I got 10, I mean 10, I got 10, I got 10, stepping this shit and I'm losing the thumping, I'm stumping and losing the grip. Holding the dudes in the trip, I got the stewards to sit, none but the Duke of the shit. Get yours now. Ain't me waiting for the happen. Go ahead, get yours now. starting on where you hit done. Listen, don't wanna start that. This one, don't life. Getting wanna don't go whole night. Like some gold saying, give my summer don't change. Let top of a gold tank, but like that don't rain.
Honestly, after going through this huge list of unused samples, it only makes me respect the skill and talent of guys like Dem Joints, Boogs, and Digital Nas that much more. Not only are they masters of creating short melody loops, but they are highly proficient at sourcing samples that help flesh out the sound of songs, and honestly, this rigorous development and production process is what makes Donda such a special album. If anything, this just makes me really hope that all these guys continue to work with Kanye so that we get to hear more of all of their insane samples down the road. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and let me know down in the comments which unused sample you liked the most from this long list.